All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome to the weekend preview. I'm Darkside Phil, and today is Sunday, December 6th, 2015. My collar seems like puffy or something bothering me. And welcome to the first weekend preview of December. Ladies and gentlemen, things are getting very festive around here. This past week, Leanna and I put up our Christmas tree. We've got this lit garland down on our railing. We've got all kinds of Christmas decorations all over the house. We're getting very excited for the holiday. We really enjoy Christmas. It's actually one of our favorite times of the year. And, it's definitely a busy time of the year as well when it comes down to gaming and the stuff that I put out on my YouTube channels. And so the question is really primarily for this week, what is it that I'm going to be focusing on? What am I maybe going to either put on the back burner or kind of ignore or maybe even stop playing for now? Because the bottom line is we've had a pretty crazy hardcore gaming season. This year, I listened to your feedback directly, the things you've told me for the past 2 years. You said, Phil, you're playing too many games. You play too many games. You play every major game. You don't give it enough time. And because of that, you end up playing 100 games at once. And we end up waiting far too long for you to either finish the game that we want to see or to get back to the game that we want to see. Case in point, last year, the end of last year was out of control with games like Dragon Age Inquisition and Far Cry 4 and WWE and like 3 or 4 others that were all being juggled at the same time, and it took far too long for me to get far in them. And by the time that I had finished them, most people who were interested had either gone off and watched someone else play or had played them themselves. Understood. And I definitely hear you this year. And if you haven't noticed, I'm trying to directly respond to that and saying, okay, if it's something that I'm not really liking, something that doesn't seem like my cup of tea, I'm not going to focus on it. So, for example, perfect example, these past few weeks, games that I've tried out and I didn't really like or they didn't really catch on, I didn't really enjoy them that much. Star Wars Battlefront was actually very disappointing after playing it a few sessions. I didn't like it as much as originally I thought I would, and I pretty much got bored with it. Just Cause 3. This past week, I played it 3 times. I was so incredibly bored by the end of the 3rd session, I didn't want to play it anymore. It was just blow shit up, blow shit up, blow shit up with no substance. It was basically all gameplay, no substance. Rainbow Six Siege. Tried it one day, barely even worked on the Xbox One, and then when I got it to work, the gameplay was kind of lackluster, subpar, and very repetitive and limited. And I said, that's it. I'm not going to waste any more time on these games that I'm not enjoying. I'd rather focus in on the stuff that I'm liking. Now, of course, even though I'm directly listening to feedback and responding to what people are telling me, I'm still getting criticism. Oh, now you're skipping too many games, and this isn't what we're here for. And it's like, listen, you can't have it both ways. It's either I cover every game, and therefore you have to wait 5 million years for me to finish a game, and it takes a long time for me to play between the games, or I stop playing the games I don't like. I don't play a lot of games. Like, there's tons of games this year in particular that I skipped or never played at all, okay? And you know what I mean? It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways. But I get this feedback, this differing feedback, and it's hard for me to tell what exactly is it that people want and what's going to be best for the channels. So ultimately, I took in all of this, and I decided that this week is kind of a test week where I'm going to determine what I'm going to be playing for the next couple of weeks heading into the holiday, because once the Christmas week hits now, it's going to be special because I'm going to be doing fan appreciation multiplayer, and I'm going to be working on my year-end series, and therefore the ongoing playthroughs are kind of going to go on hiatus for a little bit, or at least be more scarce while I work on that stuff. And then when I come back in the new year, boom, now we hit the ground running, finishing up the stuff that I was working on, starting up new stuff, etc., okay? So, we're going to talk about that in a moment. I've got a couple quick kind of housekeeping updates to let everyone know because I really haven't had a chance to talk about this publicly yet. Number one, YouTube has been all screwed up these past several days. I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, YouTube views froze on almost every video. So I would upload new videos, and 24 hours later, oh, let's see how they're doing. Oh, it says 200 views. What? How could the video have 80 thumbs up, 25 comments, and 200 views? That's insane. I never get that many thumbs up. Let's say it really was legit. 80 out of the 200 people who watched the video thumbed it up. I never get that kind of ratio. Like, that would be insane. No way am I going to get that kind of a ratio of likes. It's very hard to actually get engagement on YouTube these days, unless you're like a giant viral YouTuber. So it's actually unbelievable that that would be the case. So I looked into it, came to find out that pretty much every YouTuber had the same issue. It seemed like there was this weird time period from like overnight Thursday, Friday, and sometime on Saturday where views didn't count. Like, you could watch whatever you want, you could thumb it up, you could comment, but the view accounts weren't increasing. They were just stuck. And I noticed this in particular with my Rockathon, which happened this past Monday, my Rock Band 4 marathon. And again, special thanks to the October patrons who made that available and possible, because that was amazing. So many people loved it. But the Rockathon views froze at 15,000 views for over 2 days. And then all of a sudden yesterday, they started moving again. Now it's already over 17,000. So what that tells me, within 2 days, there's probably 4,000 or 5,000 views there that never counted. And it's unclear what happened. YouTube, as usual, is not publicly talking about when they screw up. They never do. They never say, oh, we screwed this up. Sorry about that. We'll fix it. They just let it run. They're like, fuck it. We're the biggest video sharing website. Who cares if for 2 days video views don't count? Who gives a shit, right? Because we're the biggest. We're the bullies. And we can do whatever we want. So there's no update in regards to that. Like, I have no idea why the views didn't count. If it was affecting your YouTube channel or any other one else's YouTube channel, there's no update. Now, the good news is, as of yesterday, the views are counting, which is cool, because I saw things like my new DSP Tries It episode has typical views, and my gameplay videos now have the typical views on them again. But I guess there was the phantom zone for 2 days, and we're just supposed to forget that there were no views, right? It's kind of silly. For me, it's not that big of a deal, honestly, because the stuff that I was doing during the 2 days wasn't anything amazing. It was like, oh, I checked out the Uncharted multiplayer beta. Okay, big deal. It wasn't like a big new game playthrough, you know what I mean? Oh, I checked out the Rainbow Six Siege gameplay for a day. So it's not like I was getting huge views on that stuff anyway, and I don't really give a shit. But imagine if that had happened when there was like a giant new game premiere and everyone was excited, and after a day everyone says, let's go check out this big new game premiere. Oh, every video has 100 views. I guess no one likes the game. And unfortunately, that's the mentality people have on YouTube, is if they don't see a lot of views on a video, a lot of times they associate that with the quality of the video, which is complete and utter bullshit. I fully believe there are videos on YouTube with insane amounts of views that suck, and there are videos on YouTube with almost no views that are amazing. And that's the problem, is actually getting that exposure and getting the mainstream attention is incredibly hard on YouTube this day and age. So, I say this with a grain of salt, and I don't mean just my videos. If you've been watching stuff over the past several days and you notice low view counts or whatever, don't think that it means that the videos are bad. That's ridiculous. That's such a closed-minded mentality to have. It shouldn't be based off of views or popularity or who's Mr. Popular. And let's face it, that's kind of what a lot of the popular things on YouTube are. If everyone is watching this, it must be good. And you watch it with this, like, really mentality of, wow, it's great, and you jump into the bandwagon nature of that the video is good instead of actually looking at it at face value and what exactly it is. There's a lot of people on YouTube that probably wouldn't be successful if people actually looked at their videos for face value instead of the hype of bandwagon popularity, and vice versa. There's probably tons of people who would be very popular on YouTube if people would actually use their fucking brains instead of just look at a view counter. But I digress. It was messed up for 2 days. Now it seems to be business as usual, so that's good. The other thing I want to let you know is I was really hoping that by today I would have news for you on how things went in November. Now, as you guys remember, back in the months of September and October, my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, was massively affected negatively by false copyright strikes against it in August. Because I had false copyright strikes against my channel in August, I was forced to remove hundreds of videos, which removed millions of views from my channel, and YouTube thought that that was a negative thing and removed my channel from the search results. So no one looking for the games that I was playing in September or October would even find my videos in search results on YouTube, which is ridiculously insane, makes no fucking sense. But again, the big wigs at Google know what they're doing, right? Yeah, right. So it sucked. For 2 months, my stuff wasn't showing up at all in YouTube search, and all that natural incoming views. For example, in November, I played Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Typically, it's not my mainstream viewers. You guys usually aren't the ones who watch that stuff too much. It's more people looking for stuff casually on YouTube, and they'll say, oh, here's a guy who, you know, has how many hundreds of millions of views, and he's playing the game, and he's doing it co-op. This should be pretty interesting, and they'll check it out. Now they're search, and I'm not in the search results anymore. So my Call of Duty stuff this year, basically flopped performance-wise because I couldn't get that non-core viewer, natural, organic influx from search results and related videos on YouTube. It sucks, okay? But this month of November, this past month, had a lot of successes. The Fallout 4 playthrough in particular is the most successful playthrough I've done all year. By far, hands down, Fallout 4, the big heavy hitter, and I expected it to be, and I want to say thank you to those of you who checked out Fallout 4. So much did it help me, let me tell you. That was really a lifesaver, that people are enjoying the Fallout 4 playthrough and watching it at your own pace. And I know there's tons of people who are watching it and have not even gotten halfway through that playthrough yet. Fine. I'm happy with you having something to watch of mine over the next several weeks to months, whatever your pace is. Thank you to those of you who have checked it out at this point, because it really did help me in my business. I can tell you right now, it's, like I said, the most popular thing I've done all year by far. And there were a few other things mixed in there, like the ongoing playthroughs like WWE and stuff like that, that really panned out and played out pretty well in the month of November. So I really wanted to be here this week on the weekend preview and say, guess what, everyone? My business boomed in November. We're back on track and things are great. And I can't do that. And the reason I can't do that, if you can believe it, is because YouTube analytics are screwed up. YouTube analytics, it seems, during that time period when those views froze these past few days, kind of locked up and didn't update properly. And there's actually this place that I go. It's Machinima, who's the partnered company that I'm partnered with on YouTube. That's the only reason I can make money with gaming videos on YouTube. Has something that they call their console. It's a way that it links in all the data from YouTube into this thing that generates your performance. It tells you how much money you made and all this stuff. It's been locked for a week, and there's no help in sight. We don't know what's, again, YouTube doesn't communicate when there's issues and doesn't tell anyone what's going on. So I have no idea why this console is locked. Machinima doesn't know why it's locked. It's something to do with YouTube. So I can't tell you. The month-end results should have been in as of like 4 days ago, and they're not. So here I am 6 days into December, and I have no idea how I did in November. I'm feeling positive, though. I really am. And being that, you know, I know that Fallout 4 playthrough did well and is still continuing to perform well, and that people are really excited about the end of the year. I'm feeling positive, all right? So I'll hopefully next week have information for you, but for right now I don't, and I apologize for that, okay? So now that housekeeping stuff is out of the way. Number one, let's talk about the schedule and what I'm going to be doing first and foremost tonight. As soon as I finish making this video and I upload it to YouTube, I'm going to be working on patron stuff because the November patrons, came through in a big way. We hit our goal for the month of November, our funding goal. We did. So that means at the end of this month, we're going to have a platforming marathon. And that marathon is going to either be Crash Bandicoot 3, Banjo-Kazooie HD, or Conker's Bad Fur Day HD, depending on the patron votes. That's right. This month, patrons who pledge $5 or more in the month of November are going to be voting on what game do you want to see me play at the end of the month. Now, right now, we've barely got any votes, okay? But I also haven't upgraded everyone. But I haven't upgraded anyone from November because I was waiting for the pledges to go through. They just finally kind of all processed as of yesterday. So what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to send messages to everyone who pledged in the month of November. Check your Patreon inboxes. There's over 200 people this month, so check them. And if I need your information in order to get your forum account upgraded, to get you, a private Q&A video, to submit your questions for Ask the King, stuff like that, I'm going to send you this information on Patreon, and please respond as soon as possible, because what I'd like to do is next weekend have all the information, have accounts upgraded, and have people start voting and stuff, okay? So, keep your eyes peeled if you were a patron in the month of November. In addition to the patron stuff, all right, what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to close off the nominations for the funniest moments of 2015, which some more people did post up in this week, so thank you to those who did. I'm going to leave it open for a couple more days, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description of this video. Please nominate your funniest moments, the things you think were the funniest stuff that happened to me in my video content in 2015, into this thread on thekingofhate.com. Sometime near the end of this week, I'm going to close the thread off, and I'm going to create polls on which you, the viewers, will be voting for your funniest moments, your picks. What's the funniest stuff of what people nominated, okay? And understand, it's what you nominate. So a lot of people every year say, oh, well, this one was left out. I don't understand why this wasn't in it. Because no one nominated it. You have to nominate it in order for me to put it into the polls, okay? So later this week, I should have information for everyone on here's the polls. You can go vote. I'll let you know so you can do that. And that's going to be one of my year-end series, okay? Tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to be doing a stream, yes, a live stream of Rise of the Tomb Raider, okay? I'm going to make that clear. I am going to live stream it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if people show up for the stream, and let's see if people show up for the videos, and let's see how I like the game. So there's a bunch of factors to factor in here. Now, if I play this game and people watch and enjoy, and there's people on the stream, and I play it and it picks up and I think that the game's good, I'll keep playing it. If I play it and I feel as bored as I have in the first 2 times I played it, I'm not going to play it anymore. Because that's the thing. There's all these games to play and to focus on. I'm not going to focus on a game I find boring. And the first 2 times I played Rise of the Tomb Raider, I was incredibly underwhelmed. The game seemed so effing cliche. Exactly the same as the first game with almost no differences in gameplay, except the story here this time kind of sucks. And it's just like nothing gripping or interesting. It feels like you're playing the same game with a few tweaks here, maybe some better graphics, and not that big of a deal. And you're like, why does this game even exist? First of all, why was it a Microsoft exclusive, which killed it to begin with? The sales numbers are abysmal and no one's buying this game. But why does it even exist? Why did we need a pseudo-sequel when there's no innovation and no change to the game? It's kind of stupid. So I'm going to play it tomorrow. I'm going to give it a last shot, and we're going to see what happens. Tomorrow night, I'm going to play more Fallout 4, and that's going to be offline. It's not going to be live streamed, okay? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the actual reactions of the viewers, as well as my own personal feelings about two games. WWE 2K16's My Career Mode and Rise of the Tomb Raider. And based off of all that, I'm going to decide if I want to keep playing these games or if this at this point is stuff that I should stop playing to focus more on Fallout and this week's new release, which we're going to talk about in a moment, okay? So, at the very least, this week, expect to have a definitive answer on whether you're going to see continuations of Rise of the Tomb Raider and WWE 2K16's My Career Mode or not, alright? Tough decisions. I know, it's tough decisions. But I've only got 2 gameplay weeks left before the Christmas week hits. The Christmas week, I'm going to be doing fan appreciation all week, balanced with my year-end series stuff, and I'm not going to really have time to do continuous playthroughs anymore. Like I said, they're going to go on hold till probably next year, so I'd rather focus on the stuff that I want to play the most and I want to get as far in as I can, rather than, oh, let me play 5-6 games at once, and now I'm barely playing anything, and the next thing you know, when I'm done with my year-end series, no one cares anymore because it's been 2 weeks and I haven't played any of the games, right? So, that's kind of how I want to approach it. This Tuesday, yes, out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, you might not even be aware of this yet. This coming Tuesday, Yakuza 5 is releasing in the United States and also Western territories, basically anywhere where the game would be released in an English language. Yeah, can you believe that? It was announced on Saturday at the PlayStation Experience conference, where they kind of announced tons of new things like Ni no Kuni 2 and stuff like that, and it was all these big bombshell announcements. And they said, yeah, it's coming out this Tuesday on PSN for PlayStation 3. And everyone's like, what? Like, we had no, we heard that it was coming, but you never gave us a date. You never gave us a definitive answer on if it would even be this year. And all of a sudden, it's out this Tuesday. So immediately, people started messaging me, Phil, we want to see you play it. It's brand new at this point. You'll be able to play it, at launch. Not that we think that Yakuza will have a humongous following, but at least it's something new to kind of do near the end of the year, which would be fun. So I want to do that, and I'm going to start Yakuza 5 this Tuesday. That's going to be my gameplay stream on Tuesday, is going to be Yakuza 5, as long as it's available, and I want to make this abundantly clear to everyone. PlayStation Network is infamous for not having games released on time at midnight. It should be released. If it's a new game, it should be released at midnight, and I should be able to play it whenever the fuck I want after that. But PlayStation Network doesn't always do that. So I'm a little nervous that I'm going to go to play this game, and it's not going to be available early on Tuesday. If that's the case, sorry. We'll do an audible, we'll switch it around, and then it'll basically be kind of the main focus on Wednesday. I would love to do this, but I can't promise you that the game's going to be fully available all day Tuesday. If it is, I'm going to do a marathon of it, meaning I'm going to play it on both gameplay streams. Will be Yakuza 5, both the first and second. I will do 2 streams on Tuesday. They'll both be Yakuza 5. But the game actually has to come out. Okay? So we'll see. Fingers crossed the game's actually available at a reasonable time and I can play it all day Tuesday. Wednesday will again be a balance of Yakuza 5 and probably more Fallout 4, because then I wouldn't have played it on Monday or Tuesday. And then Thursday is the return of the Hate Live podcast. Yeah, ladies and gents, for the first time in 2 months, I'm going to do a podcast, and I've got a lot of stuff to talk about on this podcast. First of all, we're going to be talking about what's been going on with me and my channels, how everything's been going business-wise. We're going to be talking about all the games that I've been playing for the past couple of months since the last time I did a podcast, and all of my overall feelings about those games and this season, this gaming season in particular. I'm going to be talking about gaming news. There's been a lot of stuff going on in regards to the Game Awards. There was this big TV Game Awards on Spike TV that I want to talk about, and controversy abound around that. New Kickstarters launched and Kojima banned and all this stuff. I'll talk all about that stuff, don't worry. And I'm going to be talking about all the news from the PlayStation Experience. So there's tons of stuff to talk about on this week's podcast. This is the perfect week to do it, definitely. Also, I'll probably have a mini segment a little bit about Christmas, so that'll be fun too. And I hope that everyone will tune in this Thursday. That will be, actually, it'll be my second session. It will be live streamed, but it'll be live streamed late. My earlier session will be gameplay. And the question is, what will it be on Thursday? Will it be more Yakuza 5? Will it be the continuation of Rise of the Tomb Raider or WWE? Will it be Fallout 4? Don't know yet. I'll let you know once we get there, because we have to see how the week goes. We have to see if I determined if I'm going to continue Tomb Raider or not, etc., etc. So there's a lot of factors to factor in. But basically, the main focus this week is going to be Yakuza 5, Yakuza 5, Fallout 4, and the podcast. And everything else, if I decide to play it, will be more of a secondary periphery thing. And that's how I want to kind of handle this week, okay? Now, next week is going to be more of the same, but what I'm going to be doing is trying to focus in on maybe finishing some of this stuff. If I could maybe finish up Fallout 4 so I can review it and do stuff like that, that'd be great for next week. Because like I said, if I get all that done before I start working on the year-end stuff, great. Last thing I want to do is have a million games that are kind of hanging in limbo before we get to the end of the year, and then next thing you know, it's early 2016, and no one really cares about the stuff that I didn't finish anymore, which is exactly what happened last year, in particular with Dragon Age Inquisition. I didn't finish it, and by the time I was trying to finish it in January, people were like, we already saw the ending because we watched someone else play it, which sucks. Alright. The only other real piece of housekeeping is that I want to let everyone know that there are going to be WWE Sims. I never really made this abundantly clear, but I talked about it earlier today on my WWE stream. There are going to be WWE simulation matches, regardless of the fact if I decide to continue my career mode or not. It's going to happen, okay? It's just going to be later. I'm going to have it one day during this holiday celebration around Christmas time. I am going to be doing WWE Sims. It's going to be special holiday Sims. You'll probably have like fantasy characters and stuff, because this year they took away all the limitations and bullshit from last year's WWE, where you could only have like 25 created wrestlers, so you couldn't even do a full Royal Rumble, and it was basically terrible last year. They fixed all that shit, and I can't wait to see the crazy ass shit that people have created and uploaded and put that into the game and do a lot of simulations for you. So that's coming up, and yes, there is going to be a Christmas special this year. I actually know what I want to do. I decided finally this past week. I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. It's going to take some doing. It's going to take some time and effort. And I want to say this to any of you watching this video who were $75 patrons this year. If you did the $75 perk level and you want to be part of the Christmas special, please contact me, whether via email, darksidephil@hotmail.com. You could tweet me, whatever. Contact me, because what I want to try to do within the next couple of weeks is see how many people are interested in being in this special, and then I can figure out if you can actually be a part of the special, the content of it, or if you just want to record like a special holiday greeting to the viewers. And that was a big source of controversy apparently last month, because I made this offer. I said, if you were a $75 patron of mine, you did that level this year, that you could actually be part of a Thanksgiving special that I'm going to do on Thanksgiving with Ask the King and all that. And then when Ask the King came out, there was no one, in there that was a patron. And people, Phil must have just fucking said no one could do it. No one said that they wanted to. A bunch of people did respond and said, no, Phil, we're just happy to support you. We weren't looking to be a part of any video or anything when we pledged to you this year. We just wanted to be your biggest, perk level supporters. So don't worry about it. That's basically the vast majority of people who responded. That's what they said. And a few people said, we're going to do fan appreciation when you do it, so do it in Christmas time so everyone has more games. Everyone's getting games for Christmas, so why would I do the fan appreciation in November before a lot of people have the games? And that kind of hit home with me. I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. That's kind of what I should have done. I should have waited for the end of the year to do the fan appreciation, and that's why I rescheduled it. So that's why there was nothing going on in November with patrons, because they basically, the full feedback I got was delay the fan appreciation until December, and, no one wanted to do anything special for Thanksgiving. Okay, but people want to be up in the business and be like, well, Phil must have cheated people. They're out of fucking control. The bottom line is, no one complained. Everyone who's done the $75 perk level is happy. No one's complaining about it. You know what I mean? It's fine. But if you are a $75 perk, person, please contact me if you want to be part of the holiday special, the Christmas special. Yes, it is Christmas for me. That's my holiday that I celebrate. And we'll go from there. All right? All right, so that's pretty much it. I've covered all the bases now, every possible thing. I just want to say Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all of you who are in this big holiday season, because I'm gonna be in this Christmas mode. You've seen me before around this time of year. I get into this mode, and I'm like in this mode for a while. I'm excited. Every night I go downstairs and my Christmas tree's on, and we're listening to Christmas music, and there's all these cool Christmas decorations, and I'm Christmas food. I can't wait for the Christmas food to come. Oh my God, we got this panettone special Italian bread we're gonna try. Oh, I love that shit. And we're gonna be making some special stuff for Christmas. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm very excited for Christmas. I love this time of year. So I'm going to be in a festive mood all month. I hope that you'll join me for whatever games I am playing. It's definitely going to be Fallout 4, and it's definitely going to be Yakuza 5. Whether or not it'll be Rise of the Tomb Raider and the continuing of WWE is uncertain yet. We'll see what happens. But it's certainly a possibility that those will continue. We'll have to see how it goes, okay? And getting geared up for Christmas week, when I'll be starting to work on year-end series, and then the week after Christmas will be the fan appreciation. I'm pretty excited. So hope you're enjoying the holiday season, everyone. Thank you for watching the weekend preview. I'll see you for all the new stuff this week. That's it. And without further ado, yes, haha, unlike last month, I'm caught up and I am ready to deliver. Thank you to the following November patrons who made this upcoming platforming marathon possible. Peace out, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow for new gameplay.